for those people, for that American nation that we all love, is to re-elect Donald J. Trump, President of the United States.
There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices.
Welcome back to America Decides, the election program brought to you by the journalism students here at the University of Northampton and students of the University of Richmond in the USA. I'm Janique Lovian.
And I'm Dante Gray. More states have shut their voting, with Nevada, Montana and Utah all slamming shut. Trump has predicted lead with 191 electoral college votes compared to Kamala's 99, which is breaking news. We've also heard fake bomb threats coming from Philadelphia. This resulted in one polling station closing for up to 23 minutes. Their voting times have been extended.
National abortion bans and eating the dogs. These are just some of the misleading or downright untrue claims that have peppered this campaign. Natalia Evans takes a look.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
It's just not true, is it? Much like all the other lies that have been told during the election so far. While in 2021, it was shown that the Republicans lie more than the Democrats, it definitely doesn't mean that the Democrats haven't lied during this current election. So, while you may think Donald Trump lies the most, there are still a few lies that Kamala Harris has told too.
If Donald Trump were to be reelected, he will sign a national abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancy.
False. Trump has denied a national ban if he were to be elected. But do we know why they lie? Lamar Darrington, a politics student from the University of Northampton, explains why politicians have the tendency to lie.
They're often caught in kind of a fight between what they have on their personal ambitions and also integrity. That kind of becomes second nature to a lot of politicians, just saying what their party believes rather than what they personally believe. And I think like that quite often falls under the territory of lying.
So what are some of the other lies that both Trump and Harris have said so far?
Do you know that crime in Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down? You know why? Because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country.
There is no proof of Venezuela doing this. But do the public care that they're lying?
I think the public do care to some extent. Unfortunately, I would say that how much that matters is very, very dependent on the individual.
Both campaigns might push the elastic, but Trump is the clear leader when it comes to blatant untruths.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century.
Untrue. By the end of his presidency term, unemployment rate was 6.4%, and it has been higher since the Great Depression. Natalia Evans, UON News.
I've just received some breaking news. Trump has a projected lead of 198 electoral college votes, with Kamala Harris trailing with 99. If Kamala Harris wins today, she'll be the first ever woman to be elected president. Plenty of other nations have had women leaders before. What's taken the United States so long? Here to discuss is Jojo McShane from the University of Richmond. Jojo, is the United States too sexist to elect a woman?
Sexism can manifest in the form of concerns over a female candidate's electability, where voters may unconsciously or consciously believe that a woman is less likely to win, regardless of her experience or platform. While speaking with NBC News, Kamala spoke to this point and said, "That's what the American people want to know. Regardless of their race, regardless of their gender, their age, they want to know that they have a president who sees them and understands their needs and focuses on their needs. Understanding we all deserve to have a president who is focused on solutions and not just fanning the flames of division and hate."
How impactful would having a woman president be for the US?
Said about the political scene.
I think a female president can serve as a powerful role model, inspiring young women and girls to pursue leadership roles and believe in themselves. This can help break stereotypes and encourage more women to engage in politics and leadership at all levels. Women in leadership roles tend to prioritize social policies such as healthcare, education, childcare, and poverty alleviation. These issues can significantly improve the well-being of the population, particularly marginalized groups.
And Georgia, just finally, what challenges would Kamala Harris face if she was elected?
Well, female leaders are often judged more harshly than their male counterparts. While male leaders might be praised for being assertive, women in power may face criticism for being seen as overly aggressive or too soft, regardless of their approach. Basically, a woman must constantly demonstrate she is strong enough, but can't appear too tough for fear that she will come off as unlikable.
Jojo, thank you very much for your time. The election has had a huge influence on social media, with a variety of accounts having their say. One of these is Ken Webber, who runs Branding Dems. He explained to Emily Robinson Hardy.
I started it because it's a way for me to vent. I'm very upset about the political scene in America. And I think smart people like you are equally upset about what's happening. And so I started it just for fun, did one or two, and suddenly 50 people saw me do that. And when I do something clever on Facebook, maybe 10 people respond. And then I did another one, and 300 people, whatever the number was. By the way, I did one yesterday, less than 24 hours ago. And as of right now, it has almost 500,000 views.
So how much influence do you think social media is actually going to play in this election?
That's a good question, and nobody knows. It's impossible to measure it. I know that people I respect have said everybody has to do their part, whether it's just talking to friends and relatives, trying to explain. I mean, obviously, I'm a Democrat, trying to explain why what we believe is the better path versus the lies, the outright lies that Donald Trump tells literally every minute, no joke. So, you do what you can. It could be one-on-one, but I'm doing my part by doing these TikToks. I have a podcast called Branding Democrats once a week. Now we're doing it twice a week, I think, just before the election. I also, by the way, have a young woman who's my co-host, and she's American, but she lives in Barcelona.
Wow.
But thanks to technology, I went 4 years without ever meeting her, but she and I both attended the Chicago Democratic National Convention. And so I finally got to shake her hand after she's worked side by side with me for 4 years. So technology is amazing.
What has been really stark in this campaign is the divisive rhetoric used by Donald Trump. He has talked of arresting people, executing people. He has spoken of putting Liz Cheney, a leading Republican critic of his, in front of 9 rifles. Trump's own former chief of staff, General John Kelly, has called him a fascist. These are strong words. Joining us now is our reporter James Logan. James, can you tell us more a bit about these claims?
Yes, well, I think it's certainly true that he can be presented as an anti-democrat. As well as that, if he were to get in his words, this would be the last election necessary. On top of that, you've also got the fact that he doesn't accept a loss. He didn't in 2016. His language is frequently, as you said, divisive. On top of that, he drives wedges and has branded immigrants as both criminals as well as rapists as well. Strong words from Trump. He's a fan of strong dictators across the world, whether that's Vladimir Putin in Russia or Kim Jong-un of North Korea, as well as some other leaders across Europe. UK's reform leader, Nigel Farage, has encouraged him as a friend, if he were to lose tonight, don't react badly, instead to go and enjoy himself at one of his 17 golf courses that he owns. The big question is whether Trump will obey the law or not. He has already said if he were to win, he would lock up his opposition as well as silence critical news organisations. If he were to do that, it would most definitely be an authoritarian government. So the simple answer, American democracy could be a slippery slope.
Thank you, James. So looking back in 2016, it was already clear by this time Trump had won. However, this year, it looks much closer. And Donald Trump again has taken the lead with 191 votes, and Kamala Harris has 99.
Right, we'll wrap up there. Our election team will be back in 45 minutes. See you then.